What's going on, people? It's your man the YB, back once again. So, Daniel Dubois has broken his silence on the Hrgovich fight, the 5v5 Frank Warren versus Eddie Hearn. He says, or it says, Dubois hopes to make Hrgovich eat his words and send unbeaten Croat into retirement. Oh no, we've heard this before, people. I got to put my hands in the air, yeah? I put some minor coins on Dubois to beat Usyk. He was talking a whole bunch. I did videos on it. Dubois was doing the most. Oh yeah, Usyk, you're too small. I'm going to send you back to cruiserweight. Oops. Next thing you know, 6'6", 250-pound dude on his knees looking at his corner, all sorry for himself. Unbelievable. Yeah? Imagine a scenario, you got a 250-pound, heavy-handed dude and a 200-pound. He couldn't even punch at 200 pounds, right? Usyk wasn't a puncher at 200 pounds. Put them two in a situation of a fight. How can a dude, 6'6", 250 pounds, ever end up on his knees? It don't equate. In my mind, on his knees, looking at his corner, all sorry for himself and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what? How does that make sense? Make no sense. He should be spark out. That's what should happen. Full stop, to be quite frank. There should never be no knees. Never. If you're that tired, get knocked spark out. Respectfully. That's what should happen. Hey, I'm being paid $4 million for this fight. Let me at least have an honourable passing. Yeah? Let me travel to the pearly gates of Valhalla. Daniel Dubois has not even done that once. Not even tried to go there. He's scared of meeting his destiny. He was scared of meeting destiny against Joe Joyce. Again, on his knee, looking at his corner. Listen, I ain't saying YB you wouldn't do it. I ain't getting paid $4 million though. I'll tell you this for free. If someone put up $4 million, yeah, it should be demanded in the contract, in my opinion. When you make more than $1 million, yeah, there is no take a knee. It's you're flat on your back, or you win. That's what knee for what? What are you being paid for? Who can't do that? Who can't go into a fight, yeah, have a good go, get tired, and get on their knees? That's not what we pay for. You're being paid for. You're being paid to have a go and get knocked out, or can work either way. You can have a go and still get knocked out, but have a go and get knocked out. Did Dubois finish that fight fighting? No, he finished it on his knees. He wasn't even blowing that hard. I've seen fighters in the past, I can't think of names, but I've seen fighters in the past be gassed. They put their hands to their nipples and have a go. Yeah? Put your hands to your nipples, put your chin down, and let's have a swing about it. If all else fails, we can swing. Especially in them circumstances. You've got a 200 pounder who can't punch. Never could punch a day in his life. Coming up to heavyweight. You know what? This guy's tricky. I mean, Chisora set the blueprint, people. Chisora set the blueprint. Have a go. And Usyk was in there backpedaling, looking all sorry for himself. That's how it looked to me. I think he lost the fight, honestly. Based on my preferences. Usyk did not look like Fury versus Chisora 3, for example. Yeah? That's a boxing lesson. Chisora did not land one glove. That was not the case against Usyk. Usyk was stressed in there, fact. That was arguably... I mean, AJ... he lost the first fight. Another dude, I hate to say it, but another big for nothing dude. Big young for nothing as well. Chisora's old. 38, never been a massive puncher kind of thing. Never been that athletic. You've got Dubois and AJ in there, the biggest dudes I've ever seen in my life. And they're on their knees or they're stumbling back to the ropes. Put your chin down, put your hands on your chest, and let's have a fight about it. Yeah? In them circumstances. You're not fighting someone your own size. I don't know what's happened to the logic here. I don't get it myself. Oh, YB, well, you're not in there and it gets tough. Well, that's the idea. It's a fight. What? I don't understand. What are we doing here? That's what it's called. Boxing /fighting, essentially. It's not called kneeing. It's not called BLMing, is it? Listen, if it was called BLMing, I'd agree with you. I did a good job. Yeah, Daniel Dubois did a good job representing BLM. He'd take them knee. Yeah, for the ancestors. That's he. Nah, it can't be. People say, oh, you talk too much about Dubois. Listen, I'm just calling a spade a spade. I heard these bars before. These bars lost my $20. They call it $20. These bars from Dubois lost my $20. Where are the $20 at? Yeah? Where's the recompense for false advertisement? You told me he's a cruiserweight and he's going to get it. At what point? Oh, well, he landed one good body shot. That's not what you was talking about, though. Dubois did not say in the build-up, hey, I'm going to try and land one big body shot, and if that don't work, I'm going to jump on my knees. No, he was talking about he cruiserweight, I'm going to bully him. Where was the bullying? I didn't see none. Didn't see none of it. He got a bit hard, and he jumped on his knees. That's what happened. He was not exhausted. He did not have a go. He did not try to have a fight about it. At least do it. That's what I never got about the whole knee thing, yeah? At least give it a round. At least say, alright, I'm going to... For example, in my mind, I think, you know what? Let me get through the next round. Let me just try to box a bit. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but still, in my mind, kind of thing. We've got two options. Hey, I'll take the next round off, and then I'm going to give him 3 minutes of hell. Yeah? And then I'm going to meet my maker. 100%. A round off, 3 minutes of hell, and then he's either knocked out or I'm going to be sent to meet... I'm going to be sent to meet my maker. Do you understand? Those are your options. They should be the only things in your mind in a fight. Yeah? I'm knocking this guy out or I'm meeting my maker. Nothing wrong with them two destinies, people. Where does... well, I'll jump on one knee. Instead. I don't know where it comes into it. I just don't know. I'm going to bow in... it's not even defeat. I'm going to bow in... On your knees is the most... it's the most... What would you call it? It's dread, isn't it? Dread. Seeing a man on his knees in any fashion is dread. It's humiliating. It's humiliating, people. It's humiliating to be on your knees. And to opt. It's not like Usyk had a gun to your head and said, oh, get on your knees. You actually chose. You weren't knackered. You weren't punched up. You actually just opted. Yeah, it's getting a little bit tough. It wasn't super tough for him. Let's be real here. It wasn't super tough. Look at Tony Belland, for example. Tony Belland, to his credit, he got tired. What happened? He knocked Spark out. That's what he's supposed to... Salute to Belland. Yeah? Because he did what he did what he signed up to do. And Bellew did a good job. Well, until he gassed, yeah, he did a very good job. He was in the mix with Usyk and then he caught up with him. That's how you're supposed to go out, though. Yeah? Give it your best and run out of gas and get clipped. Well done. Bravo. You travelled to Valhalla. Yeah? This guy, though, he talking and he ain't showing. People talk about the Jarrell Miller fight. Jarrell Miller, what's he done? Jarrell Miller's big for... Listen, did I think Jarrell might be able to do something? I did, but end of the day, he's 330 pounds and he's not on the gear anymore. So he ain't got no cardio, he ain't got no power. He's just a big blob. A big F-18 mess, essentially. And Dubois made hard work of that, all due respect. To be the athlete, and Dubois ain't doing whatever else. He's not partying and whatever else. So, to be the athlete, he made a hard job of Jarrell. Jarrell's... I don't know what Jarrell really doing. So people can celebrate, oh, he came back and he showed... Okay, if you want. If you want, though. I don't think Hrgovich... Listen. Would I prefer Dubois beat Hrgovich? Absolutely. I'm talking about, is it likely, though? If this fight gets tough, what is Dubois going to choose to do? Well, he chose to jump on the floor against Joe Joyce. He chose to jump on the floor against Usyk. I don't see why he ain't going to choose to jump on the floor against Hrgovich. I don't see why not. At this point, if you do it once, it's bad enough. Sometimes you can do things once, yeah, and then realise how bad it made you feel. Well, you know what, I'm not doing that again. But if anything, Dubois' resilience is deteriorating. Because the Joe Joyce fight, his eye was bust. He had a socket break or whatever. That's really painful, fair enough. But the Usyk fight, he weren't tired. He weren't blowing. He wasn't beat up. He just on the floor. So my hope isn't too high for Dubois, but I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, my heart's with Dubois. I hope Dubois can go to somewhere and muster up some Zulu spirit in one of them. Some ancestral Zulu spirit and find it within himself. Because otherwise he's going to end up on his knee for a third time. And for me, it's one strike and you're out, but 3 strikes and you've got to be out, but he won't be. For some reason, Frank Warren got something for Dubois. I mean, Dubois is good at beating bums up. We know that. He's good at that. That's his niche. Dubois' niche, like Joe Joyce's niche. Joe Joyce ain't that good at beating bums up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Joe Joyce, well, I guess he beat Parker, but yeah, Joe Joyce, his best fight was the Parker fight. He came alive for that fight. Dubois is the opposite. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. Joe Joyce beat Dubois up and beat Parker up. But when Joe Joyce fights bums, it's not devastating. It's kind of messy. He looks worse. His best fight up until the Dubois fight was Dubois. Anyway, let's look at the bars here from Dubois. He says, speaking to IFL... Dubois spoke briefly at the press conference and mentioned he and Hrgovich had shared rounds in sparring, telling Hrgovich that he had subsequently improved. Hrgovich replied saying he hoped that Dubois has improved because the sparring did not go so well for him. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, people. This ain't good. That's not what I want to hear. Back in Dubois. Now obviously people say sparring don't mean much, yeah, but psychologically speaking, if you've taken a whooping, and the fact Dubois came out and said, it says here, look, Dubois spoke briefly, telling Hrgovich that he had subsequently improved. So for Dubois to say, oh, I've improved now, he knows he took a whooping, right? If you listen, sparring is very controversial. People say I won, oh no, I won. But for Dubois to come out and say, oh, I've improved since then, that's conceding that, oh, I got mollywopped. So Dubois will already know deep down in his heart, oh, this guy on my ass in the sparring. So when it gets tough, he's already got excuses. Well, he already beat me in sparring, so what difference does it make now? People say Derek James, has Don Charles come and revived him and the Jerome Miller fight? Hopefully. I mean, great for all of us if Dubois can have some resilience. I ain't so sure though. I'll believe it when I see it. This fight will find out, I believe. This fight will find out. Hrgovich, everything's on the line right now. The big $10 million AJ fight is on the line. If there's ever a time for Hrgovich to turn up, it's now. If there's ever a time for Dubois to turn up, it's now. We'll find out. Anyway, speaking to IFL, Dubois admitted that the sparring with Hrgovich had been hard and that the Croat was a effing tough guy to come up against. Oh no. So the narrative's already built in to Dubois' psyche. This guy is super tough, so if I jump on my knees again, it's not the end of the world. He's tough though. It was a hard spar. This kid Hrgovich was effing tough. That sparring is irrelevant, really. Let's go. I'm ready for a fight. Yeah, but listen. The first time Dubois never said much, yeah? But the first time I heard these bars of I'm ready for a fight, it was a Usyk fight. I thought, you know what? I haven't heard Dubois before. He's talking now. Let me put some coin on Dubois. Oops. All that talk of I'm ready for a fight and I'm ready to send him back to cruiserweight and I'm going to dethrone him went out the window when he got tough. And that is how things normally go. We're all, like, from the safety of this seat, I can talk a whole bunch, right? When you're in the mix, though, it's completely different. And it's the same here for Dubois. He don't know what he says. So, yeah. If he's going to retire, let him retire. I'll retire him, Dubois added. I did a job on Jerome Miller, and now I have to do a job on Hrgovich. On paper, it's a harder fight than Miller, but in reality, with what I can do when I'm in there, I can make it an easier fight for myself, just by being on form. I need to be on form and stay in the right mind. Yeah, staying in the right mind will help, but again, these things are... I can make it an easier fight for myself. It's the wrong attitude, in my opinion. Expecting to make it easier for yourself. What if you're not on form, for example? Yeah? Athletes have to... They spend X amount of months, 4-6 months training to peak on one night. The chance of you actually peaking on that one night is slim to none. Do you know what I'm saying? The chance of you feeling your best on that night is rare. All you can really control is your mind. You can't control your form. Yeah, you can do all the right things in training, you can eat the right foods and have the right rest, but it's a lottery, essentially. It's not... Well, it's a science, but it's not... You can't really pin it to the day. Tyson Fury said recently that he's ready to fight now, which was last week. And he hopes he hasn't peaked too early. And that's what... It's the situation you find yourself in. It's really random. So the only thing Dubois should be thinking about is not his form, but you know what? I might feel shit on fight night. Yeah? I can still give this guy the worst 4 rounds of his life kind of thing. That kind of narrative. Because you best believe, what happens on fight night if Dubois feels, look, I can make it an easier fight for myself by just being on form. I need to be on form. and stay in the right mind. Well, what happens if you're not in form? What happens if Dubois the week before is feeling rough? Does that mean he knows it's going to be a harder fight for himself? And does that mean he's got an excuse to jump on his knees? Possibly. Subliminally. He might not blatantly think to himself, I'll jump on my knees. But when you're in a hard situation, yeah, things get tough. And you can start telling yourself, well, I'm not on form tonight, so it's not the end of the world if I represent BLM again. Anyway, I hope both men, Hrgovich and Dubois, turn up, because it'll be a great fight if they do. It'll be a great fight either way, even if Dubois gets on his BLM, even if Dubois gets on his Colin Kaepernick. It will still be interesting. It will still be quality TV, because at that point, there's no coming back now. This is it now for Dubois. There's not another chance. There's no more chances. There's no more chances now. No more. 3 strikes and you are well out of here. Never again. I've got a little bit, listen. The Joe Joyce fight wasn't a great look. Before the Usyk fight, I was like 50-50. And now it's like 20%. Dubois got 20% health score left. And after this next, if you jump on his knee again, just get knocked out. Just do that. Just get stopped. Just get stopped. That's what you should do. Just get stopped, man. Put your chin down, put your hands up and have a fight and get clipped. That's what you have to do, I believe. Go out with some dignity, man. Hey, knock me out. There's no dignity at all. There's nothing honourable about jumping on your knees and then standing up when the fight's over and walking around and shaking hands. Like, who does that? I'd feel weird about it. I'd feel weird. And you got all his team, Don Charles coming out. Oh, leave him alone. What are you on about? It's embarrassing, man. Big hardback dude too. He ain't that young. You're like 25, 26. If you ain't a man now, when are you going to be a man? Yeah. When are you going to travel to Valhalla? When are you going to meet your maker? If not now. I don't understand it. Everyone trying to mollycoddle him. Oh, he'll be back better. No. Don't go on your knees. Simple. Don't do it. This ain't called kneeing. It's boxing. Fight until it's over. That's the bottom line. Or don't fight. Post up somewhere and become a civilian. That's how I feel. No knees. No more knees in this camp. I don't want to see no knees. No knees. Finished. Not one more. Don't even think about it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Leg off the bell, 100% not out.